Social media is ruining your life. It's stealing your motivation, your discipline, your attention, taking your dreams, all in the name of profit. That was a bit of a dramatic intro, but yeah, look, if you go to this, like a normal black screen, obviously this is not going to be as interesting. A lot of people are probably going to click off this. So this video is going to be on the dark side of social media. We'll try to not keep it too dramatic. Our brains are drawn to novelty. Like, we are primitive things at the end of the day. And these big social media companies, these tech companies monopolize on that. They utilize on that. They hire people called attention engineers. They literally use psychology to manipulate you into spending more time on the platform. And they don't care about how that makes you feel. They don't care about all the science that we can go through that looks at depression. It looks at like how it linearly increases with time spent on social media, the effects it has on relationships, all of this crazy stuff. The business models for this company is you are the product. They want you to spend as much time as possible on the platform. More of your time spent on the platform through psychological manipulation and effectively ruining your life is going to result in them getting paid more from advertisers because they can guarantee that you're spending X amount of time on the platform because you're so engrossed and manipulated into watching or into doing this thing. I wasn't even aware how addicted I was to social media until recently. I was sitting in bed scrolling on my phone, like I should have been sleeping. I was just aimlessly scrolling through Instagram. I came across one of these reels and it's like, stop, like, you know, like these motivational reels. It's like, stop what you're doing. And it's showing you like all the scrolling. It's like you're wasting your life and all this stuff. It's like rotting your brain. And I was like, shit, man, I relate with that. I've got to stop right now, go to bed. I've got to get up early. I've got work. I've got stuff to do the next morning. So I clicked off Instagram, clicked straight on YouTube, bro, and did the exact same thing on YouTube. Then the same thing on TikTok. And then like 2-3 hours had gone and I was just like engrossed in this. I walked down the street. I'm like flicking through reels, not even paying attention to like the real world. I'm like in this digital world. I go for a shit. I'm like sitting on the toilet, going through reels, like going through like this on my phone like, all the time. And then it gets to the end of the day and I wonder like why I didn't do what I want to do. Like, I'm like, oh, where did that day go? Like, where did the time go? I'm literally donating all of my time to these companies, bro. These companies hijack dopamine in your brain. Like, this isn't some conspiracy theory. This is literal science, like basic psychology. Every behavior, every habit that you do revolves around this thing called dopamine. Dopamine is what motivates our behaviors. It's this reward, feel-good neurotransmitter that makes you feel good. It draws you in. Our brain seeks novelty. It wants new things. And when you can have novelty or fingertips, like all of these different things, like these little likes, these notifications, it plays on these dopamine systems, bro. And do you know what every major drug revolves around that is addictive? Dopamine. Alcohol, dopamine. Cocaine, dopamine. Like all of the one... You're effectively doing drugs. It's like when someone gets up first thing in the morning, if the first thing that you do is open your phone, scroll through Instagram and like look at reels or look at likes or like photos or like go through your messages, you're effectively starting the day with a big fat line or slug of Colombian on the table, like first thing you do that when you wake up. If you're doing that first thing in the morning, you're obviously going to be like, okay, I have a problem. Like if your friend was doing that, you're like, he needs to stop doing this. That acts in your dopamine. Social media, it might be an extreme analogy, bro, but it's literally the same thing, the same system. Social media is conditioning your brain for instant gratification. It's teaching you that by doing this thing for that instant hit of dopamine, you're gonna feel good. And when you don't do it, you're gonna feel bad. It doesn't teach you to embrace the suck, to like do the hard work, to do the stuff that you know that you need to do over a long period of time. It teaches you to get that good feeling now, eat that shit food now. Don't stick to your diet. If you're miserable, depressed, self-loathing, stuck in this perpetual cycle of misery and comparison and depression, then this week's paid video partner might be for you. But this video is a paid partnership with BetterHelp. At the start of the year, I started going to therapy for myself and my relationship. And it was one of the best things that I'd ever done. I'm not just saying this, it was literally one of the best things I've ever done. I used to think therapy was for crazy people, but it's kind of like a tool to supercharge improving yourself. I've had several individual sessions and several couple sessions as well, which has made my relationship a million times better. I've been By the way, if I sound like a robot, it's because I've actually had to send them a script of what I want to say, and then I'm reading back exactly what I've said, but this is my own words. I've been so much happier, understand myself. Fuck, bro. I've been so much happier, understand myself and my feelings better, and my life and relationship have improved massively since the start of the year. Just casually reading the script. BetterHelp is a platform that connects you with therapists and makes finding a therapist easier. You'll fill out a questionnaire, then within a couple of days, you're connected to a therapist based upon your answers that is best suited for you. Literally, part of the reason that I took this partnership was one of the agreements that I wanted in this deal was that I get to use their services for myself for doing this. So this is obviously, I believe in it. It's really, really good. I think everyone can benefit from therapy. If you're struggling and think you'd benefit from a therapy session, click the link in the description or go to betterhelp.com/Mo for 10% off your first month. I've been skydiving. If you look at my Instagram, I've been training. I've been doing Muay Thai. I've been living on tropical islands, paradise in 5-star hotels, doing all this crazy stuff. It looks like my life is absolutely insane. When in reality, I spend 90% of my time at a desk, writing programs, editing videos, coming up with ideas, making content. This is not representative of my life. Obviously, like, no shit, Sherlock. Like, obviously, like, not everyone's life is like that. Like, it doesn't take a genius to work that out. But equally, like, I used to be one of those people, like, up until today, that thought like, oh bro, I follow all these accounts like just for motivation, like all these people like living these crazy lives with like these 50 Bugattis and like all of this like multi-million-pound businesses that look like they're absolutely killing it. Number one, that their life is nothing like that. Number two, that is not reality, and you're probably misled into thinking it is. And it's like, okay, part of it is motivation, but what you don't realize as well is subconsciously you are surrounding yourself with people that aren't even doing this good, but they're perceptually doing like 1,000 times better than you. So you're comparing yourself to people that aren't even living a reality that is possible to live. And then it's like, it puts you into this constant state of unhappiness because you're never going to get there. I live this Instagram life, and let me tell you, like, my life is absolutely great, but I still get caught in like this miserable unhappiness, like not feeling good because I don't have all these things these people have like all the time. It gets you into this mindset of you will never be enough and you will never have enough. Like, if you do this all the time, if you just constantly look up, if you constantly look at people above you that don't even actually live this reality, like being motivated is good, being like driven to do more is good, being like wanting more is like a really good, healthy thing, I think. But then when you're looking at things that are completely unattainable and not real, it's worth like giving yourself a reality check and actually taking an external view of yourself and being like, okay, look over your Instagram, like what have you done? Have you been on any trips? Like maybe aspire to go on some freaking holidays. I started doing gratitude recently, bro. I brought this like 5-minute journal. It's pretty cool. Every day I do 3 things that I'm grateful for. This is like one way to kind of circumvent this. There is a study, a meta-analysis, which is like a study of studies. It's basically a study that looks at loads and loads of different studies. So it's a really, really powerful study of like loads of statistics. The study concludes that time spent on social media was significantly associated with higher rates of depression symptoms. The risk of depression increased by 13% for each hour, bro, of social media use. So go on your phone, look at your screen time, like how many hours a day you spend on your phone. For every hour you spend on social media, there is a 13% greater likelihood that you will suffer from not very nice things in your brain. Relationships was something that I did not even realize was affected by social media until I had a proper look into it and like a light bulb went on my head. I found this study from Taiwan, and it found that an abundance of dating options triggered more searching and a decreased quality in final partner choice. So it's like when you go on Instagram and you see all these girls, you see people that are put into your algorithm. Ultimately, if you look at something for longer, like the male gaze, like if you see like a great rack or something absolutely fantastic that is aesthetically pleasing on your Instagram feed, you're probably going to look at it for like a millisecond longer, whether you're a single man or not. I can say this because my Instagram algorithm is literally just all of birds that I send my girlfriend. But there has been times where maybe I looked too long at certain things on Instagram. My algorithm was a little bit different in my past life. What this study shows is ultimately more potential options equals less relationship satisfaction. And it's like, compare yourself to someone 100 years ago and you can probably see more attractive women in one day than you would in your entire life on social media. It's like, whether you're in a relationship or not, what does that do to your brain, bro? It teaches you to like always look for more. Why do you think that more men are suffering from erectile I don't know why I'm laughing, this is a very serious erectile dysfunction than ever, bro? Could it possibly be tied to this abundance of social media and porn use and Instagram literally being soft porn and seeing this like anime hentai, it's not anime, is it? This anime girl with like this AI, seeing like this AI anime girl with like triple XL 5 gazillion size tits and like no waist. It's obviously like not real, or it's like it's not attainable. Like all these things, it's like setting this unrealistic standard. And when you actually get like a real person, it's like, nah, nothing's happening, fam. This epidemic of people feeling lost and not having a direction, having like this like midlife crisis and like not knowing what their purpose is partially to blame because you're just constantly taking in everyone else's information, everyone else's dreams. The summary of this video is moderation is key. Like, use it for the right reasons. Just be aware. When you're self-aware enough of why like you feel certain ways or why certain things happen, you kind of like can try and bypass the manipulation as much as you can. Turn off all notifications. Like, why do you even have notifications for Instagram on your phone? If you care about someone enough, or if they care about you enough, they're going to have your number. If they need something from you, they can message you, they can WhatsApp you, they can phone you. Whether or not you're in a relationship, especially if you're in a relationship, unfollow those hoes. Big shout out to BetterHelp for being the paid video partner. If you want to try therapy, you can go to my link to get 10% off your first month there as well. Peace out. I love you to bits.